Most people think discipline means waking up at 5 a.m. and forcing yourself to grind. But here's the truth. The most disciplined people I know don't force anything. They've hacked their environment so success happens on autopilot. In the next few minutes, I'll show you the exact trick that turns self-control from a daily battle into something effortless, and you can start using it today. Here's your section on the motivation myth. We all wait for motivation like it's some magical fairy that'll suddenly appear and make us productive. But here's the reality. Motivation shows up after you start, not before. Think about the last time you didn't feel like working out, but went anyway. After 10 minutes, you probably felt pumped up. That's how discipline really works. Most people get this backward. They sit around waiting to feel ready, to study, to work, to exercise. Meanwhile, professional athletes don't wait for motivation. They show up at practice whether they feel like it or not. Why? Because they know action creates motivation, not the other way around. Your brain releases dopamine when you start a task, which then fuels your motivation to continue. The secret isn't mustering up willpower. It's removing the need for heroic willpower altogether. Writers know this trick. They set stupidly small goals like write 50 words instead of staring at the blank page waiting for inspiration. Once they start, they often write hundreds more words than planned. But that first push is what matters. Willpower is the worst long-term strategy. That's why cereal companies pay for prime shelf space. They know your tired brain will grab what's easiest after a long day. Traditional discipline advice tells you to fight against your environment. That's exhausting. The difference between motivation and discipline is simple. Motivation is fleeting emotion. Discipline is reliable systems. When you stop relying on feeling pumped up and start creating systems that make action inevitable, everything changes. Professional writers don't write books. They write pages. Marathon runners don't train for 26 miles. They complete today's mile. This explains why motivation always seems to arrive late to the party. Your brain resists starting unfamiliar or challenging tasks. But once you begin, the resistance fades. The hardest part isn't doing the work, it's starting the work. That's why the most disciplined people don't wait until they're motivated. They've learned how to outsmart their own brains by starting small and letting momentum build naturally. Now let's talk about how to actually make this automatic instead of relying on willpower. Your environment does more for your habits than willpower ever will. The real difference between disciplined people and everyone else? They design frictionless spaces that make good choices automatic. Lay out your gym clothes the night before. Studies show it can boost workout chances by 40% because you remove the first mental hurdle. Most people fight their environment without noticing. Snacks on the counter? You'll eat them. Stanford found people ate 40% more candy when it was visible in clear jars. Your brain always chooses the easiest option, so make the easiest option the right one. Small tweaks, big impact. Programmers use the same chair, same desk, same coffee mug to flip their brain into focus mode. That's the 20-second rule. Make good habits 20 seconds easier to start, and bad habits 20 seconds harder. Want to eat less junk? Put it in the highest cabinet or remove it completely. Your future self will always take the path of least resistance. So design that path now. Fitness? Shoes by the door. Bag pre-packed. Each tweak removes one more excuse. Discipline isn't about grinding harder. It's about building systems so the right choice is the default. Here's why the 2-minute rule is so powerful. Your brain hates big commitments, but it loves small wins. If you tell yourself, I'm gonna write a book, your subconscious freaks out. It feels huge. But if you say, I'll just write one sentence, your brain goes, poof, easy. Let's do it. That's the trick. Turn overwhelming goals into tiny, laughably easy actions. And here's the science. Starting triggers a motivation loop in your brain. The moment you begin, your prefrontal cortex flips from resist mode to reward mode. That's why language learners who commit to just 5 minutes a day often end up going 30. They've already crossed the starting line. Fitness works the same way. Don't tell yourself to work out for an hour. Just put on your workout shoes and walk outside. Momentum will do the rest. Your brain thinks you can quit after 2 minutes, but most of the time, you don't. Writers call this the doorway effect. Once you're inside, your mind changes state automatically. So whatever your goal is, studying, eating better, cleaning, open the textbook, chop one vegetable uncomfortable. These micro starts build up day after day and track them. Mark an X on a calendar for every day you hit your 2-minute target. The streak will push you forward because breaking it feels worse than starting. Over time, one sentence becomes a chapter. One chapter becomes a finished book. That's how discipline becomes almost effortless. And yet, here's the surprising part. Most people still fail to stick with it. Let's talk about why in the next part. This week, don't overhaul your life. Just make one tiny strategic tweak. Put your water bottle where you'll see it, lay out your workout clothes before bed, or delete that one app that eats your time. If you take nothing else from this video, take this. Discipline is not built in the moment of action. It's built in the moments you set yourself up for success. Drop a comment with the one change you're making this week, and in 30 days, come back and tell me how it went. And if you want more ways to make progress effortless, hit subscribe, because small, smart steps always beat big, exhausting plans.